So from 2006, like I moved to different countries, and my career was like progressing in a very good speed as I expect. And in terms of like life-changing events happened, I got married and everything. And like I moved to US in 2012. After that, my career achieved this stale, right? From 2012 to 2015, nothing big happened. So I changed the company in between, but I was not very happy with the change that whatever I went through, right? But 2015,
we don't see the animation though. Sorry. Are you doing
okay.
animation? Okay, there you go. Yeah, so good.
Maybe something wrong with this. Okay, never mind. So in 2015, I joined Apple, and then my career started progressing, and then as the speed that I was looking for. Then in 2019, I had a good promotion, which was very significant. So I feel happy about that. Then in 2020, the pandemic hit everyone, right? So as me. And at the same time, it was a double whammy. The reason being was like I turned 35 on that age, right? The mid-age crisis also hit me badly. Then I started breaking my head like what I'm going to do in life. Is a career progressing as I expect, right? Can I do something different? Am I happy with the way that I am progressing? All those questions came in. It impacted me both physiologically and mentally, right? I couldn't start at it started showing up in my career as well. In the work, I couldn't see much of on productivity. I was started getting like little lazy, not showing very curious. So all those things happened. Then I did one thing, like I started one company in India, which was the biggest risk that I've ever taken in my life with a considerable amount of an investment. Initially, it was growing good, and then like there was a nosedive on 2021, all the way from like few $1,000 to like it went up to $0, right? So 2021 was the hardest year that I could think of, right? Then I went to India and came back, and this magical call happened, right? One day I was looking at the Facebook. I don't like Facebook. I don't know why I went to Facebook on that day. I think like there is some connection to it. So I went to the Facebook, and Ravi's webinar showed up, a small webinar. So I just watched that video, and then I had a call with Ravi. Then the transformation started. So that's the whole purpose of me joining this course, right? The leader inside you, right? I wish I had a good animation working there. So let me see how I can do that, because the next one is like a lot about animation.
Yeah, looks like working.
Great. So this is me, a better version of me, I would say. I wish I could be like this, but yeah, I would be. So these are all some of the things that I was going through, right? So when I talked about the success story, it's about like what I was and what I am today, right? So lack of self-awareness. So lack of self-awareness, I can talk a little bit about this, right? So for all the bad things that happened to me in 2021, I feel that like I will get some magical crystal ball to see a future, and like I'll find a path to get into that future, right? I never promote.
Yeah, still animation is not working. Looks like we don't see any text here. Okay, yeah.
I don't know the problem over here, but never mind. But like this kind of like happens this demo, right? So lack of self-awareness, which kind of like put me in a very bad spot, and always look for like some crystal ball to see my future, right? And then elaborative talk, like always too elaborative, and sometimes people get lost with my conversation, like what I am talking. My communication was not clear and crisp, right? On top of it, the self-doubter comes in, right? It's like a monkey sitting on my shoulder all the time. It comes in like, hey, Mauli, you are not capable of doing this. Like whenever I try something new, the self-doubter comes and says like, okay, Mauli, you failed miserably in a lot of things. You may not achieve this, right? So the self-doubter was the biggest monkey behind me. And I always remorse, like, why is it happening to me? Why my friends are getting a promotion? Why I'm not getting the promotion? Why I'm not getting the attention what others are getting it? Like, when would I get my chance? So always kind of like in this remorse mode. And the final thing is the time management, right? So I get excited about certain things, and I get into that, and I completely forget about my priorities. So all these things together kind of like pushing me down to the lowest of, I would say like I've seen the lowest in my career, right? Lowest in my life. So I have realized that like these are all the things that are impacting me badly. So what is it now? I joined this course, wonderful course, and I started practicing this mindfulness, right? I can explain my own version of mindfulness. I know Ravi has its morning meditation because most of the time his morning meditation is like early, very early morning, like 3 o'clock or like 5 o'clock in my time. So I never listened to that. But I've listened it a couple of times and I started doing meditation on my own way, like 5 minutes meditation, because I used to do a yoga regularly, right? 5 to 10 minutes. Then not necessarily in the morning, whenever I find time, I started doing this mindfulness. Whenever I go for a meeting, as I said, like big meeting or like a big events, I do this meditation for 5 to 10 minutes. So then I plugged in this mindfulness with this whole learnings that I had it in this class. Then I started seeing success one among the other, right? It started happening like one by one, boom, 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 right? So let me explain you like how I overcome this weaknesses that I had, or like the opportunities for me to succeed, right? So I arranged it like I'm an analytics person, so I arranged this problem in the order that I feel, right? So I prioritized it. So first I felt that lack of self-awareness is the biggest problem that I have, right? So the mindfulness immediately took it off that. Like it gave me the necessary awareness that what I have. An elaborative talk, I remember only one word: serve the meat, right? I don't know, like it's somehow like I'm not a meat eater, but still this word stuck in my mind: serve the meat, right? It's a Ravi's favorite words. That stuck in me. Self-doubter, talk to your leader. The leader talk, right? So that came into my mind. Then, in order to overcome the self-doubter, the DISC report has a greater influence in me, right? So when is the self-doubter comes in? Whenever I approach somebody, whenever I share the big idea with somebody, even for myself, like to identify like who I am, what I am, right? The DISC report came in handy. So this self-doubter thoughts, whenever it appears, when I go to my manager or a senior manager or a big talks, then I refer to the DISC report, like the other person is also same like me, and this person is a PGN, like how to communicate to the PGN. So I completely changed my narrative to that PGN style or an owl style or an eagle style, and serve the meat that they were looking for, right? Then this solved this communication and the self-doubter problem. Then I started remorsing, like, why me always, right? So I had a great conversation with Ravi. So whenever somebody gets promoted, it's keep impacting me. And I feel that like sad for a couple of hours and then I couldn't do anything. Then I keep getting into the thoughts, right? So again, after that call, I don't know what happened. Probably the way that Ravi explained me about what I went through, kind of like the thoughts went away. And I never get the thoughts after that. Like if anybody's getting succeeded, I'd be the first person to say congratulations to that individual, whether it is like a known person or an unknown person or a stranger or whatever it be, right? If I like it or not like it, I just go and like congrats them, right? So that kind of like take it off that. Now I look at like everyone's success as my success, which kind of like take it off the remorse in me. And I had a wonderful conversation on a time management with Lisa. So that in that call, like one thing I learned was, so always we make like big task lists, but end of the day, like we never complete it, right? Probably we'll complete like 2 of it, 3 of it. But if you deeply look into it, like what are the tasks that you have completed? Those are all the tasks which have really motivated you to do, right? So I think the same suggestion Lisa gave to me, to start with something which always motivates you to do. So once you started completing it, you will have the sense of accomplishment. With that, like you will have a motivation to go further and get your tasks done. You won't believe me, like I have completed something like this, right? So this is a notebook that I got it from India, which was like, cheaper one. So I completed a full notebook and I carefully started writing it down, like the things that I do it on a day, which I never used to do it in my life. I started meticulously taking notes about the things that I do it on a day. It has kind of like given me both maturity in terms of like explaining things to people. At the same time, it gives me an opportunity to go back and see like what was the discussion is all about, which all the time I forget and I couldn't get a chance to connect the dots, right? So all those things have been solved. So with this magical triangle, I kind of like right triangle, I kind of like in a space where I'm capable of getting a 500K, right? That was my dancing number. But then I have achieved that 500K in my suitcase. I don't know, but it's on my way. I'm pretty sure it's on my way. But you know what? This whole course has completely changed my mindset to go for like $100 million, right? So now a leader inside me is like no longer chasing the smaller numbers. I have set myself into a different level where I am confident that I would achieve this $100 million goal at some point of time in future. And thanks to Ravi and this wonderful classmates to giving me an opportunity to change myself forever to be a better leader in me. Thank you, Alison, Lisa, and everyone.
All right. Oh, super good, super good. It's a lovely speech and so inspiring and spoken in with super enthusiastic and energetic way. It's great, great. So I hope you guys would have taken